Happening right now at the border, nearly 100 protesters, including clergy, showed up at the San Ysidro port of entry this morning to protest the construction of the border walls. This coincides with the visit of Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly and Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Some of the protesters say that people from other parts of the country need to understand life along the border. A deadly explosion has shut down a main supply line of gasoline for the southeast United States. The incident occurred when workers were replacing a pipeline valve that had caused a huge leak back in September. A mechanical digger struck the pipe and sparked a fire. The driver was killed instantly and 5 others were injured. The first known dreamer to be deported under the Trump administration is suing the government and filed paperwork in San Diego. 23-year-old Juan Montes says that he was stopped in February by the border agents in Calexico at a taxi stop and sent back to Mexico. But Montes was protected by President Obama's Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or the DACA program at the time. His lawyers want the government to release the details behind his deportation. The U.S. Navy sailor who drove drunk off the Coronado Bridge and killed 4 in Chicano Park went to trial Wednesday. It was his first appearance since being arrested. 24-year-old Richard Anthony Sapolio is being held on $2 million bail. Sapolio's defense team requested for him to be released back into the care of the Navy, but the San Diego judge denied the request. Sapolio is facing a maximum sentence of 23 years. The County of San Diego is going on bug patrol. This week, San Diego's Vector Control Program will drop its first batch of larvicides. The Vector Control Program will be focusing on 48 rivers, ponds, and other waterways in an effort to kill mosquito larvae. The use of the larvicide is to control the population of mosquitoes and protect the public from diseases that originate from them. The larvicide used is harmless to people and pets, but are still effective against larvae. And free larva-eating fish will be given to pool owners to help them prevent from becoming breeder grounds. Early this week, the San Diego City College Police Department sent out an email warning students of a virtual kidnapping scam. Families throughout San Diego are getting calls that someone they know has been kidnapped and will be released for ransom, usually with a drop-off location in Tijuana. If you're called, the police ask that you stay calm, do not give out personal information, and gather as many details as possible to help with the investigation. People in Philadelphia who regularly depend on public transportation are struggling tonight. At midnight this past Monday, workers for the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, or SEPTA, officially went on strike. All subway lines, buses, and trolley routes are being affected by the strike. With only a limited area currently being covered, talks between SEPTA and the union continue covering issues like pension reform, health care, and wage improvements. Thank you so much, guys. And it's been almost a week since 7 people were wounded and 1 life was lost in a pool shooting in La Jolla. Family, friends, and strangers came to celebrate and mourn the life of a victim.
You need me.
Close to 100 people gathered at the vigil Wednesday to show support for family and friends of Monique Clark, as well as the other victims involved. Some are still questioning whether this act of violence was race-related or premeditated.
As you can see right behind me, people are still gathering at the vigil for the victims of the pool shooting incident that occurred this past Sunday at the La Jolla Crossroads apartment complex, where shooter Peter Sellis took the life of Monique Clark and injured many others.
Monique never knew she was going to be a sacrifice to bring this many people together, and it's not one of the choices of the family that she wanted to do it this way. But when I got here and began to look at the crowd and look at everybody here, and I was saying, it's just interesting how God always allowed.
There's a lot of things that are being said. I won't make my assumption of what it really is. You know, if you look at it anyway, you could put your own spin on it. My thing is, right now, it's about a person who has lost their life, and now it's up to us to do something with it.
This is my neighborhood. I felt that, you know, as a faith leader in my community, I have to be here. I have to come and show my support and solidarity to the family of the victims and to convey the condolences of my community members.
She called me a few minutes before all this went down. Well, I'd say like 30 minutes. And she was begging me to come over to meet up with her, and I told her I'd think about it. And then I fell asleep. An hour had passed. I was trying to get a hold of her family, and then sure enough, I called her phone again, and he told me that she had died. Yeah. And just send your prayers, give them their space. I mean, just love one another.
Although it's not officially clear that race was a motivation, the death of a life gone too soon has led the community to come together, to heal, and no matter what race or color, love will overcome.
Clark, who touched so many lives, was a mother of 3. Her funeral will be held on May 13th at the Rock Church in Point Loma. Back to you two at the desk.
Performing at the Black Box Theater this semester at City College is Good Kids by Naomi Iizuka. It's a play written about sexual assault and social media. Director Professor Katie Rada and her cast and crew gives an inside look on how they turn this play from a script into a live performance.
It is based on a true case that happened in Steubenville, Ohio in 2012. And what happened in Ohio is there was a young girl from West Virginia from high school who went to a party and drank to excess and went home with a football player and was sexually assaulted by at least 2 of them. And then woke up in the recollection of it, and one of the other guys who was at the party videotaped it and put it up on YouTube and social media and all over the place.
Throughout rehearsals, the cast had a difficult time trying to bring these characters to life.
The material is really ugly. It's really ugly, and they are saying lines, saying words that they would never say in real life. So it's been really hard for them to sort of embrace the villainy of these characters and to recognize that they're just characters. That's not who they are.
The cast was able to pull through the hard subject of the event, wanting to leave audience to support others in similar situations.
It brings awareness to this issue. It brings awareness to what people actually have to go through after they've been sexually assaulted. Not only is it the fear that comes with it, the sense of vulnerability, the sense of damage, but also just the shame that other people place upon those victims.
If this play resonates for some audience members on a personal level, I'm really sorry, but I want them to know that they're not alone and that they did nothing wrong and that they are not the ones to blame, and I want them to feel empowered that way.
After every performance, there'll also be a talkback held by the City College Mental Health Department. They hope to reach out to those in need. I'm Billy Khang, reporting for Newsy.